Thank you. I've absolutely no problem with you going abroad as mayor in principle, but it depends. It depends what you do. And is it appropriate that you're actually primarily using these trips to promote speculation in London's property market? The official brochure from London Partners that you take over talks about opportunities in the rental market. Are you not embarrassed that you're simply encouraging yet more speculation in London's property market, pushing prices up further for ordinary Londoners and making the housing crisis even worse?
No, I think that is probably, in a hotly contested field, the most economically illiterate question you have ever asked. You've got to, if you remember what happened in 2007, 2008, we saw a disastrous financial crisis, an absence of liquidity, a catastrophic shortage of banking ability to lend and to get housing going. We had to deal with that with a lot of gap financing, as you know. We had to we were on target to build 100,000 affordable homes, but it is also vital, if you're going to be a great global city, to attract overseas investment to get those projects going. And if you look around our city and you look at the projects that are now underway, I'm afraid you cannot deny that international investment, international confidence in London is of vital importance. Are you really saying, for instance, that you would have told Qatari DR and Delancey to bog off and not come and invest in the Olympic Village? If so, say so now.
No, what my concern is you going overseas to attract billionaire investors to buy property that they don't want to live in, that's left empty and that pushes prices up for the ordinary Londoner.
No, that's not what. Well, if you look at the rate of empty properties in London, they are at about 0.7% of the stock, which is the lowest they've ever been. The rate of foreign investment in London, foreign homes bought in London by volume, is still at about 6%, which is where it's been over the last 30 years or so. It's the same as it was in 1990, for instance. Where I think you are right, Darren, is to be concerned about homes being bought by international investors and then used as banks in the sky. And there are a small, that certainly is a phenomenon in some parts of prime London. And it's something that I absolutely dislike. I think it's wrong, and I urge councils to use the powers they already have, and only one of them has so far exercised this power, to impose a punitive council tax on international investors who buy a flat, buy a home, and leave it empty. I'll make a further point, which is that we have obviously been working with the developers to make sure that these homes in prime London, when they come on the market, are marketed simultaneously here in Britain, here in London, as they are around the world. Now, I think it's absolutely vital that we look, there's a further thing that we need to do, because Londoners and people in the UK are still disadvantaged, because the way the mortgage market works in this country, very often a cash investor from overseas will have a much better chance of getting that property off plan than someone from London, simply because you cannot get the mortgage in advance. So I think that the next step is to look at ways of insisting that, and we're still talking about a minority, a relatively small number of homes, ways of insisting that Londoners, people in this city, are not financially disadvantaged when it comes to buying those homes. And you're going to be hearing a bit more about that in the course of the next few months.
I'll leave it there, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Assembly Member